Hey everybody, welcome to the Whispers from the Orchard podcast. I'm Silas.
I'm Release.
Today we are going to be reading some short horror stories. We are going to start off with actual short horror stories and then go into a few two-sentence horror stories. I'm going to start us off with a story titled Humans Can Lick Too.
I'm so scared.
This urban legend was used, I say the word used lightly because it was just like touched upon in the movie Urban Legends 2 Final Cut, I want to say it was.
Really?
Yes. I love the Urban Legend movies. Well, the first two. So, yeah.
I'm scared.
Alrighty, let's get right into it. Humans Can Lick Too. A beautiful young girl is left home alone with only her dog to protect her. On the news that night, they announced there is a serial killer on the loose in the area. Sidetrack. We have a supposed serial killer loose in the state we live in right now.
Yeah.
There is a supposed serial killer in the New England area, specifically more so Connecticut. Love that for us. Police are claiming it's not a serial killer, but there have been multiple bodies found, and I think if I remember correctly, 2 of the victims who were identified, like, they were similar. To me, the facts point to serial killer, and a lot of people agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So to our New England residents listening, please be safe out there. Please stay vigilant. Be careful. Hopefully, it is a false alarm.
One can hope.
One can hope.
But you can also never be too sure.
But you can never be too sure or too safe.
Mm-hmm.
So to our New England listeners out there, please stay safe. Be vigilant. Stay updated. Stay informed. Back to the story. Before she goes to bed, she locks all the doors and tries to lock all the windows, but the one in the basement won't lock. She decides to leave it unlocked, but locks the basement door and goes to bed. Her dog takes its customary place under her bed. In the deep of night, she awakens to a dripping sound coming from her bathroom. Half awake, the girl feels the comforting lick from her dog and falls back to sleep. She reawakens to the dripping sound, reaches her hand down to the dog where she feels the reassuring lick and falls back to sleep. Once more, she awakens to the dripping sound. She reaches her hand down and feels the lick of her dog. Now curious about the dripping sound, she gets up and slowly walks towards the bathroom, the dripping sound getting louder as she approaches. She reaches the bathroom and turns on the light. She is greeted by a horrific sight. Hanging from the shower nozzle is her dog, with its throat slit open and its blood dripping into the bathtub. Something on the bathroom mirror catches her eye. She turns around. Written on the wall in her dog's blood are the words, "Humans can lick too."
Now, let me tell you, this story, I've heard it before, I've read it before.
Yeah, so have I.
It's terrifying.
I hate that.
Also, I want to know how big or small the dog is, because I feel like a human tongue would feel way different than a dog. Were you about to lick my hand? Is that why you grabbed me?
Yeah, I just licked her hand for confirmation.
Ew, it feels weird. But yeah, it's not the same.
Also, how big was the dog for them to easily...
Yeah, for them to hang it?
How did the dog not react? I mean, it's a story, so it's
yeah, but
we're getting into the heavy details,
the
technicality and stuff. But that was our first short horror story. Berlice is going to take over with the second one.
Fun. This one, I'm not 100% sure on the name, but I put it as nunchucks. When my daughter was 2, I found her twirling paper towel tubes tied with twine in the air. I asked her what she was doing. She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was very confused as she'd have no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Adam had told her how to make them and showed her each night how to use them. She went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to know how to defend herself someday. I almost freaked out, but I asked her what Adam looked like. She said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, "Mommy, you know how he looks. You know him. He died of a headache." I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died of a brain aneurysm at the age of 27. She has not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with my reaction or if she had completed her lessons.
See, that one's kind of wholesome.
That one's cute.
That one's very cute.
Yeah.
Definitely not the dog licking the hand.
Yeah. This one's nice.
All right. The next story I'm going to be reading is The Ghost at Home. Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table we were sitting at, the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low raspy giggle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand right where I left it.
I would leave the house.
Yeah.
Also, I need to know what kind of giggle this was.
Like it was it...
I just imagined my sister.
Honestly, Pipsqueak laugh.
Yeah.
Or my laugh when Val was getting terrorized at Halloween Horror Nights. I cackle like a clown, like an evil clown, when I'm like thoroughly enjoying something. And I went to Halloween Horror Nights 33 with one of my best friends, and he was getting targeted throughout the scare zones. And the whole time, all the video that I have of him getting scared, I'm just in the background, like maniacally laughing like such a jerk. But it was so entertaining to watch.
Yeah. It's just like a...
It's an uncomfortable...
You just imagine you answer the phone, it's just like, tee, and it just hangs up, like...
It's just the cockroach sounds that she makes. It's just the, hi.
I'd be scared. I'd be so terrified. It's just, hello. Like, what? I'd be scared, high key. I'd leave my house. After knowing, I'd check everywhere. Because what if it was a person?
Fuck that. Hell no. I'd be out. I see that phone on the nightstand. I ain't even going out the door and risking going into another room. No, I'm throwing myself out that damn window.
Out the window is crazy. This one's scary. Okay, this one's called A Mother's Call. A daughter was in her room upstairs doing her homework.
Ew, homework.
Yeah. When suddenly she heard her mother call to come down for dinner. She jumped onto her feet and began making her way towards the stairs. But before she even took a step, hands grabbed her and pulled her into the laundry room besides the staircase. She panicked before realizing it was her mother, her real mother. Eyes watery and bloodshot. "Don't go down there, honey, I heard it too."
What was it?
It was a mimicking spirit. Honestly,
That'd
that
be
used to happen to me a lot.
horrifying, though.
That used to happen to me and my family a lot. When we lived in Maplewood, we would hear, like, each other call our names. Like, my mom, there was times where I was home alone and I'd hear my mom and I'd walk to her room and there would be nobody there. Or there would be times where I'll be sleeping and she'll walk in my room like, "What'd you say? Like, you called me?" And I'm like, "Mom, no, I'm sleeping." She's like, "Oh, okay." They also say it's a big thing in, like, I guess our culture maybe, and I'm guessing others do it too, but they say if you hear someone call your name, don't respond if you don't see the person. Same as if, like, someone's knocking on your door, you're supposed to see who it is, because if you do that, then you're basically inviting or interacting with whatever
That's spooky.
spirits and stuff. Yeah.
That's real spooky.
Yeah, but it used to happen to me a lot in Maplewood. A lot happened in Maplewood. If y'all don't know, I'm haunted. Moving on.
Well, that sounds like an episode for another time.
Yeah, definitely. It's just gonna be called Berlice is Haunted? ? All of her experiences in every single house she lived in.
So we do plan on doing episodes where we bring on family and friends to share their own personal paranormal experiences. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We have some really cool stories lined up for us.
I am so excited.
Some of them, or majority of them, we don't know to the full extent, or at least I don't know to the full extent. Some of them we have some knowledge of, some general understanding of. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
Because if y'all don't know, slashers are his thing, paranormal are my thing. Like, it's my thing.
For me, it's slashers and creature features.
Yeah. I'm a paranormal girly. I've always been a paranormal girly, especially considering I'm haunted. So, and I have a lot of experiences. So, I'm really excited for that one.
I can't wait. All right, should we move on to the next story?
Yeah. I don't remember which one this one is, but I'm scared.
It's just titled Mother. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing.
Sorry. I'm here doing, like, facial expressions, because this gives the movie Mama. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied, watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room towards us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room.
So she was poisoning or trying to poison these kids?
I don't know if her spirit would be able to actually poison the kids,
Yeah, that's why I said trying.
but I do think her spirit was trying to. It's definitely, like, that's fucked up.
I love how she was like, oh, Mother was just trying to comfort us and, like, be this amazing ghost.
Be
And it's
kind and nurturing.
Yeah.
Psych.
She just wanted to be near us.
No, she wanted to be where she unalived herself.
Yeah. Okay. This one is the graduation ghost of Yauco. I think that's how you say it. I'm not 100% sure, but it takes place in PR. The graduation ghost of Yauco takes place in 1975. A young girl was on her way to her graduation party when a guy offered her a ride. They danced the night away, and he took her back home afterward. As he said goodbye, he noticed she was cold, so he lent her his jacket with the intention of picking it up later. The next day, he met with the girl's mother, who told him that the person he described was her dead daughter. She even showed him pictures, and he confirmed it was the same person he spent the night with. When he visited the cemetery to visit the girl's grave, he found his jacket on the gravestone.
That one's kind of cute. Like, she had her one...
Yeah.
That's kind of a happy one.
Yeah. I think that one's cute.
Okay, we are going to move on to some 2-sentence horror stories now.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so these are 2-sentence horror stories, so they are very short, hence 2 sentences. I'm going to start us off. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sound of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it's much more unsettling. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. I bet. It should be much more unsettling. This one says, I decided to start killing off characters in the book I'm writing. Seems like a good way to spice up my autobiography.
Oh my gosh, it's Tyrese.
Oh my god. Oh.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, listen to episode 1 on Tyrese Smith, the Bridgeport Cannibal. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and our stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. No, thank you.
At first, I thought it was a ghost thing.
The first sentence has you at like, oh, you see their ghost, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin.
It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Ed Gein?
It's giving Ed Gein.
It's giving Ed.
It's giving Ed, it's giving Buffalo Bill, it's giving Leatherface. To be
It's
fair,
giving all
Buffalo
of
and
the
Bill
above.
both based on Ed Gein, but
Yeah, because didn't Ed...
Stinsuit. Yeah.
To try to recreate his mother.
That's an episode for another time.
Yeah.
The grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Hell no. I see a face in my window and I'm living on the 14th floor.
Even if I'm not living on the 14th
If I'm
floor.
living on anything like you can't naturally stand. I mean, first of all, yes, that's terrifying if you're on the ground floor. But it's even more terrifying if you're not.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Grinning? Please. No, thank you. Ready to settle down for the evening, I put my headphones on. The whispering coming from them startled me. They were not plugged in.
I'm out of there. Headphones are being thrown out the window and I'm out of there.
Not the headphones. It's the headphones' fault. Yeah.
The headphones are haunted.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in.
As I saw her standing over my bed, I noticed that it was 2:27 a.m. I suddenly woke up and noticed that it was 2:26, and I heard the door crack open.
He predicted the future like Final Destination style.
Yeah,
He's gonna die.
and is.
I found a picture of me sleeping on my phone. I live alone.
Nope.
I have pictures of you sleeping on my phone.
I know. It's okay. Okay. My sister says that mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister. That's... I don't know if that's kind of sad.
So those were our short stories and 2-sentence horror stories for you guys. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment down below what we should cover on this podcast.
Stay tuned for next week's episode.